Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Happy Thursday to you. We're one day away from the weekend, and you are sitting here having a conversation with myself and my boy, The Dream. What's up, kid? How you doing today, man?
Yo, it's the boys club today, guys. We are missing the lovely Charly Arnold, but she'll be back tomorrow, back in all her splendor. Hey, listen, great nights for The Dream to be taken off because, as they say, sometimes you need to get out of Dodge, and the best bet you place is the one that you never do.
Yes, absolutely.
As the 76ers winning and beat the Orlando Magic.
Unbelievable, huh? But I saw they were up by 10 late in the game, Dream, but they end up getting the job done, huh?
Man, I'm so glad. It's been I've talked about walking between the raindrops. I have been lucky enough to walk all in between the raindrops these last few days by not playing because I got to be honest with you, I would have took a beating Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Damn, man. Yeah, I'm looking at some of the NBA scores here. I see the Miami Heat continue to lose. They did have D-Wade out of the lineup with a shoulder injury. I get it.
Yeah, I didn't like that game anyway, though. I would have not gotten involved in that. As I mentioned that on the show, it wasn't a great spot for the Heat, and the Wizards are, starting to turn their season around and get going in a positive direction as well. So I wouldn't have been involved with that particular problem. But I would have been involved with the Villanova Wildcats who got their thing done.
They did get their thing done, man, and I'm looking at a couple of other things. I know you're bouncing around a little bit, but it's still a basketball. I get it, brother. I get it, man. I'm looking at this. I did see that the Golden State Warriors went into the Chicago Bulls and continued their lateth, the smacketh down ways as they won by, 31 points versus the Chicago Bulls, Dream?
Well, I think the Warriors went on a trip to the East to let cats know what time it is.
What time it is.
What time it is. It was all about, listen. Just in case you guys think that you're good, you know what I mean? You're feeling yourself over here. Butler, you know what I mean? LeBron, whatever. Let me just show you how we feel about the East.
Oh, man, I know. I'm looking at a bunch of scores here. I see the Atlanta Hawks went into the Portland Trailblazers and got the job done. I mean, it's just funny, man, how some of these teams are playing like the I'd say the 4 through 8 seeds that are going to be in the playoffs and just kind of
back and forth,
yeah,
up
back
and
and
down,
forth.
Inconsistent. Games you think they should win, they lose. Games you think they should lose, they win. All over the place. Your boy, by the way, did get it done last night in impressive fashion too, which I'm surprised you didn't lead off with talking about that.
Oh, I know. LeBron James gets it done in Brooklyn, but everybody gets it done in Brooklyn, Dream.
No doubt. You ready to get it done? Go to Brooklyn.
Go to Brooklyn. Go to Phoenix. Go to the Philadelphia 76ers. Go wherever and get the job done and catch that tight win and get out of Dodge, man. Exactly. So, guys, we're live right now on YouTube and live on Twitter, having a good time. We got all my people on here already, rocking and rolling, kicking and screaming, and excited for the big weekend of sports we got coming up, man. I see that a couple of upsets yesterday, including Michigan State goes down again to this pesky Nebraska team. Dude, Michigan State was given 14.5, Dream.
Yes, sir. I know this.
Wow.
And I told you, I haven't liked them at all from the beginning of the season. I know you've been keeping track of them, and it's one of the teams that you seem to be up on. But I haven't really liked them this season. But I mean, nothing is different in college basketball. We're going to see it all season long. One are going to drop to 5, 5 will move up to 2, and so on, and switch.
We've seen this every year in and year out with Izzo's teams, man. It's just like they kind of, up and down throughout the season, and then once the tourney comes on, it's like they have another gear they kick it into. So,
which only shows you how hard it is from a professional standpoint. You watch these college kids day in and day out; they can't seem to give you a consistent product. And then, I mean, when we look at the NBA, like you said, 4 through 6 or 4 through 8, we kind of see the same. See the same thing going on as well with them is, teams that shouldn't win, and teams that, aren't supposed to win, and teams that are supposed to win don't win. So, yeah. I mean, it's just the nature of the beast, player.
Nature of the beast right now. I mean, hey, kids are involved in academics and doing all that. Sometimes
hey,
their
listen,
heads are
I meant to stop. You and Charly got on that yesterday. I meant to throw the brakes on that for a minute.
What, the academics?
Yeah, you guys need to slow down with how much studying is being
Why? What do you think? They're all like SMU, like getting the test answers slid to them?
Yeah, but I just want you to know that a whole lot of academics is not going on. All right?
Oh,
there's some academics and some cats are getting it in, but trust me, it's not quite like you.
Well, you know what? Hey, for all the listen, you got to remember there might be some youth listening, Dream. So you know what? Hey, guys, do what you need to do and get your grades popping.
Oh no! Listen, youth, please, definitely.
Yes.
Go to school, get
Yeah.
your grades. Your chance of becoming an NBA player, your chance of being a professional athlete, I mean, it's like as good as hitting the Powerball. You know what I mean? It's so competitive, and the landscape of it is incredible. So, it behooves you to get your education first. But generally speaking, during the sports time or when they're into sports, not a lot of educating is going on. They kind of do that, outside of when the seasons are going on, and there's all type of tutor work and people helping them out. But it's not, it's not like they're exhausted from.
They're exhausted from it. Well, I do got to say one thing, man. You and I disagree a lot, but I gotta give you a big plug here, man, for saying that, the parity as far as college basketball, as far as, going to a not so upper tier school and being on TV has made for some real big time parity in college basketball, man. Because, I mean, like last night, I mean, you had Wake Forest on. And you have, Boston College on, and you've got, Florida State on. I mean, these obviously Florida State is a, big program and all that, but. I agree with you on that. Like the other night, I was watching San Diego State.
That's what I'm saying.
You could go anywhere basically and get on ESPN at this point as far as college basketball. So, I mean, with the plethora of games on Saturdays and, they do big Mondays and they do a lot of games during the week, I mean, you can get yourself on TV quite a bit these days, brother.
The national coverage is intense and insane. And like we said, with television, how it's expanded and with the internet and with everything, I mean, things everywhere. I mean, you can be watched. So, kids no longer, kids who would go to Duke, as I said yesterday, and sit the bench or come off the bench because they wanted to get exposure from the Duke program, they're like, hey, why am I going to go to Duke and sit the bench when I could go to Booty U and play?
Booty U. I love it. I love it, man.
Booty U Thursdays, son.
Booty U Thursdays.
It's going to be a new program on Fox.
Getting ready to do that 12 through 16 seed in the tournament. That's what they're looking to do, man. So, hey, you know what? I do got to give you a plug on that one, man, because that was definitely a great comment on your part. There's just so many good teams now. I mean, there's 20, 30, 40 teams that are all in the conversation that could possibly make a run, man, in college basketball. So I can tell you one team that's looking pretty damn good right now, and that is North Carolina.
Okay.
They win over Wake Forest by 15. They were up substantially in that game. Let Wake come back a little bit, but for the most part, I mean, they did beat the brakes off of Wake, and Wake is not that bad of a program, Dream. So, you know what? They look pretty good there. Obviously, we're going to be waiting for them to catch their loss because it's coming. So once you crack the top 5, you're going to catch a loss at some point here.
Yeah, and North Carolina, they're 17-2, and they got. I mean, they've been stung a little bit as well.
Stung.
I mean, they had some bad losses. Son.
Stung, man. So let's see. I see Press Virginia got beat by Texas.
Yes, and that Texas team, by the way,
Not
Texas
bad.
team. They beat North Carolina as well. While we're talking about it, while we're discussing that, they're another team that is a funny team, one of those teams that you might think you could count out, but on any given night will come in and make it happen. So hey, listen, like I said before, landscape. First of all, basketball. Basketball is that sport. If you get that one dope guy.
Yep.
I mean, he can really seriously carry the whole team. Whereas when you look at other sports, like football, and I get, baseball, that one guy may not necessarily be able to carry the team in the same respect. And, you get one really good guy, or at least one really good, as you like to say, prolific scorer.
Yes.
You can go really far. I mean, we looked at Kemba Walker when he was in UConn, and look at him also now on the Charlotte Hornets. I mean, dude is just getting it done. Getting it in. To the point where sometimes it feels like the other guy's just standing around like, yo, watch Kemba. Yo, that was so dope what he did. And it's like, why don't you go out there and do something, money?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
But basketball is that sport, where one guy can take over. So that's probably another reason why you see a lot of parity as well, because you don't need to have a full team of gifted individuals.
Sure, man. I'm looking at this, and I see Nova escaped Seton Hall with a 1-point victory yesterday. But hey, it's called
on the road,
Dream. It's called winning, and it's on the road. So that's somewhat impressive, man.
Right now, most of the teams are losing on the road, so we're not going to complain about that.
Well, I can tell you one team that does not lose at home, and that is the Louisville Cardinal. And they're kind of quietly doing their thing, Dream.
Well, that's because they're trying to, you know what I'm saying? They're trying to hope everybody will forget about the strip clubs and strip
if parties. I don't know. The way it's looking, it looks like that is definitely quiet. It's either popping again or very quiet now,
got
man.
Some new talent, son.
Brand new females up in the cribs, man. Oh, Patino's out there, paying them all, and go take care of my boy real quick. get him dead right. We got Florida State coming in, man. We got to lay it to smack it down on them, man. So
yo, SBTV Nation, what's up, y'all? Get up this morning and listen to your boys, man. We just want to get on kicking and having some fun here and doing our thing. I see you want to talk about the UConn women as well, as we haven't really been talking about them. And the UConn women, they just go out and just beat everybody.
Let me tell you something about the UConn women, man. This team won by 55 points last night and didn't cover the spread, Dream. The spread was 60 points, bro.
Unreal.
With the UConn women. So, hey, I got to just tell you guys a little something. You know what? Hey, we had a little kind of a gift with the Derrick Henry Heisman thing, to add into some money line parlays. I wouldn't what's the word I'm looking for? I wouldn't stray away from taking a look at the UConn women to win the national title yet again, considering that Gino Auriemma is, incredible with this team, man. He's won, 10 of them now, Dream?
Dude, all I know is they always win.
They always win, man. It's called winning.
Even though the men have had success, but the girls look at the men and they're like, whatever, dude.
They're like,
whatever.
Yeah, whatever. You know what? You guys want to go and win by 8? We're going to go win by 55.
You know what I'm saying? Girls always win, man, in Connecticut.
They're minus 280 right now to win the whole thing, guys. I don't know if I've ever seen a favorite be minus 280 to win the whole thing, but you know what? I mean, I know they have to go into South Carolina one of these days, which is one of the better teams, but dude, they're 17-0 right now, and they win by an average of 30 to 40 points, guys. Something you might want to take a look at as far as the UConn women are concerned. I mean, they did beat, let's see, I'm just going through the scores here. I mean, they won by 55 yesterday. They won by 55 the game before that. They won by 40 the game before that. I mean, dude, it's just stupid what they're doing right now.
Listen, the UConn women get it in. They take no prisoners. They go out there and just beat the brakes off of you. And like I said, that program, the success of that program, I mean, it's been as long as I can remember, as long as I've been in sports, involved in sports, or been interested in sports, they've been good.
Yeah, my boy Jason Riley's asking, when will we see a 16 seed beat a number 1 seed? It will happen one day. And hey, dude, you never know, man. I mean, the way it's shaping up right now, you might have a team like Yale come in and knock off a number 1 seed. Who the hell knows? As far as
16 seed be the number 1 seed
in the tournament, man.
That's interesting.
Very interesting, man. So, hey guys, if there's any year for that to happen, you're looking at it right now, brother, because it's the landscape is just all over the place, man. It just seems
seed when Mercer Madness beat them?
Oh, they were I want to say a 3 or a 4.
Okay.
I could be wrong. Yeah, I want to say they were a 3 or a 4. And Duke went down to Mercer Madness. That was when they were all dancing and having a good time, man. That was definitely a fun atmosphere in that particular situation, man. So, hey, college basketball, Dream, we're wide open right now, brother. Anything can go down, guys. On Twitter right now, SBTV Nation, and comment on our YouTube channel. You guys can go back and forth with each other on YouTube. It's pretty damn cool. So, hey, pick that up and have a conversation with yourselves, man, on there. So, what else went down yesterday, Dream, that you want to get into, brother?
Hey, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, you want to talk about, I know you did some money line parlay.
Oh, yeah. Very good point. Yes. Guys, listen, I found something pretty interesting. Now, I've been noticing that in college basketball and in pro basketball, for that matter, that there's been some substantially heavy money lines. I'm talking minus 800s, minus 1000s, minus 600s, minus 550s, stuff like that are just they're falling apart. And I've noticed that if those games are a problem, those games are a problem in the first halves as well. So my thing is that, and I did this a little bit with college football, Dream, and I think you remember this, but if you're going to do money line parlays and add slip like a minus 800 in there, just thinking that you can absolutely can't lose, don't be afraid to take a look at that team for the first half money line parlay to add it with some other stuff at like a minus 400. Because you know what? The Dukies the other night, I'll be honest with you, they were minus 800 on the money line or minus 900, whatever the hell it was, something crazy. They won the first half and lost the game, Dream. And I cut the juice in half. You could cut the juice in half that way. So something to take a look at, guys, as far as, you know.
I've never been the biggest fan. I mean, I know you do it, and I'm not knocking it. If you got a system or a style, then that's cool,
right,
and go for it. I just have not been the biggest fan of the first half work. I've done a lot of second half wagers, because I've got a feel for the game of watching how they came out in the first half. So I figured, I can make some adjustments with the second half and feel like I might have a feel for it. The first half, I just don't know what to expect. The only thing that I do like doing in the first half, I generally like leaning on an under for the first half.
Okay.
Because it seems like to me, and once again, it's like my no-score first innings with baseball. It seems like to me, most of the teams start out relatively slow, feeling the other team out, what type of defenses are going to run, and they really don't get into their groove or their flow until the second half of the game. So I tend to play, when I see over-exorbitantly high first half overs, I've gotten involved with the first half under. And, one of those actually was there on Martin Luther King Day when the Knicks played the Sixers. The first half total was over, I believe, 100.
Okay.
The total number was up 100 for the first half. And to me, that was just a really high first half, total for those two particular teams. Ironically enough, they both had like a 30-point first quarter, but it still ended up going under the number. It ended up ending at 99, which was real ironic, but I was laughing because I'm thinking it's going to go under, and then they got the 60-point first quarter. I'm like, whoa. But then things, like I said, the steam left out in the second quarter, and it still ended up dropping at 99 at the end of the day.
Yeah, definitely. My boy Jason Riley's telling me that Duke was a 3 seed versus Mercer Madness that time, Dream.
Got you.
So, hey, so I'm looking at this, and look at last night. Michigan State, I believe, was if I looked at the money line, I want to say it was like a minus 900, something stupid. So you cut it in half for the first half, and the first half pushed, and then they ended up losing the game. So right there, you saved yourself a bunch of money. You know what? I don't ever recommend doing a minus 800, minus 900 money line, period. But if you can cut it in half and add a couple of decent teams like North Carolina last night, for instance, who were laying the smackdown, if this game's a problem, it's going to be a problem in the first half regardless, Dream. Right. You know what I'm saying? So something to take a look at, guys, as far as the college landscape is concerned. And that goes for, minus 300, minus 200, whatever. You can cut your juice right in half by doing the first half. So
no doubt.
Doesn't
Chip
always...
Kelly on the mic yesterday. I guess the Niners introduced him. My boy got on the mic now. And, I love the reason I bring this up, which I find funny about Chip is, Chip now all of a sudden is saying that he doesn't have to be the GM. He doesn't want to be the GM. But, reports out of Philadelphia when he left was they were talking about taking the GM status away from him, and he wasn't with it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. You're right.
He didn't want his powers taken away, whatever. And then now that they fired him, now that my man wants to come back for the Niners, now all of a sudden he doesn't need to be the GM and work with it. I got to be honest with you. I saw a little bit of the interview yesterday. Niner fans, prepare for a headache. I'm just telling you, I do not think this is going to be a good marriage at all. I really am concerned about this. And I'm a Niner fan, so I'm right there with you as far as dealing with that. I know you guys are thinking plus, Chip will be able to work with Cap and blah, 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 blah. We'll see what Chip does because it's gonna be interesting. He's just got a real interesting personality, and to me, his personality just exudes that, like, I want stuff my way. I want it my way, and I know how it should be done, and, this is how we're going to do it. And we're not going to take any input or any ideas from anybody else. And, sometimes that can be detrimental.
Sure.
To move over to another point, and on the same topic, I'm listening to a little bit of The Fan yesterday, and I listen to all the sports radio shows and some of the other shows, and I try to listen to what they're talking about. Sometimes they have guests on, former athletes, and I'm a big former athlete guy.
Sure.
Okay? Because I'm not a real big guy with media entities that have never played the sport who judge the athletes, okay?
Very good point.
Because my thing is you got Mike, like your boy Mike. Mike has killed Peyton Ball. Killed Peyton Ball on Monday, all right? Killed him, all right? Now, this is what I love. A caller called in Mike on Monday and says to him, hey, listen, Peyton Ball wasn't that bad, but he had a lot of drops. Mike says, oh, no, it wasn't his drops. He was bad. He was awful. He was horrible. So now, Mike hates talking to the regular, average, ordinary fan anyway, even though the regular, average, ordinary guy is how he got to where he is.
Yes.
Okay? So now, he gets one of his guests on, Brian Billick, former coach of the Baltimore Ravens. Now, as he's talking to Brian Billick, Mike tries to implement about how bad Peyton Manning throws the ball to Brian Billick. First thing out of Brian Billick's mouth is, well, Peyton's ball's got to be catched. His balls weren't that bad. He just got that need catch. Now, all of a sudden, Mike wants to agree with him. Because it's Brian Billick, he doesn't rip him to shreds, but the poor guy that called him on Monday, he murdered. and my last point about Mike has never played professional sports in his life. And, dude, the Denver Broncos do just have this guy by the name of John Elway sitting up in the booth. If anybody knows what a professional quarterback should be doing, I would think John Elway, we kind of would start right there.
Yeah, good point, man. Very good point you make it this morning, man. So, you know what? I do agree. I mean, when the callers call in, I mean, he definitely just disregards whatever they say, man. Unless you call in and say, hey, you know what, I love your show, and you were right on the money when you said this and that and the other thing, he'll be like, oh, cool, all right, cool. And then if you're going along with something that he agrees with, then obviously, he's going to keep you on the phone for a little bit longer, man. So, hey, when we're doing call-ins and stuff like that, Dream, let's make sure make sure that we don't act like that ever.
No, I know, but to his defense, after years of doing it, and he has been doing it a long time. And listen, guys, don't by any means get it twisted about who Mike Francesa is. He is only like I would trade places with him this second.
Sure.
All right. If Mike called me up, I'll be like, Mike, what can I do for you, player? Like, can I get you? Can I get you your breakfast? I mean, he has the platform that we like. I mean, like, that's the bar for what we would want to
of course.
I mean, he's it. And this guy's incredible. And I listen. I'm not gonna take anything, but I do feel like over the years, I just feel like it has somewhat gotten to you. And you know how they say, you start off at one level and then you get to another level. And unfortunately, you're not supposed to forget how you got there, but it does happen. I think in his case, it's just time. And I hear he's all done. This is his last year. And he's going on into something else. I do think it's time for him to hang it up.
All right. Well, hey, spot open, Dream. There's a spot open on daily radio. Would you do 5.5 hours a day?
Or 5.5. Come, let's go. Let's do it.
I wouldn't mind being on there
because
5.5 hours.
2 hours of it is call-ins. 2
hours is call-ins, and then 2 hours is commercials.
2 hours is an hour and a half is commercials. 2 hours is call-ins. Then you throw in a guest. So by the end of the day, I mean, yeah, it's 5 hours of you sitting there, but it's a fun 5 hours. But you could see 5 hours a day over the course of 10 to 15 years, and in New York, there are a few people that call in that are controversial.
Controversial and just flat out dumb. There was one guy that came on the other day talking about Carson Palmer being the best quarterback of all time. I'm like, this guy did not just say that. I'm like, dude, stop it. Unbelievable. But hey, you know what? Sometimes some of these people, you got to kind of just listen and say, all right, you know what? Great point, but I totally disagree.
And you know what was awesome is, as a professional, media entity, it's cool to say, you know what? I don't really know, or I have an opinion, but I'm not really sure of it. I mean, I listened to Cannell and Russillo yesterday as well, and Russillo says, when he was asked a question, he says, I don't know the game well enough to answer that question. Like, that's such a professional, serious, real answer to me, to say that. I mean, I'm not going to sit there, because Mike sits there, I mean, and you could go from baseball to basketball, to tennis, to hockey, to football. He's like an authority.
Yeah, right.
And he speaks with conviction. I mean, well, I wouldn't do that, and they're making a big mistake by going in. It's like, dude, like really? You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you on the radio? You should be working for them.
Very good point, man. Very good point. Well, anyway, Dream, looking at a couple of other things here on the slate. Just talking about I read something about the New England Patriots. I think it's kind of mind-boggling. Well, not that it's mind-boggling. I think that this is a big recipe for their success is that, Belichick puts these guys through about 22% more practices than most teams in the NFL. He beats these guys to death, man, as far as practice is concerned. So
I'm shocked about that. Where'd you hear that report?
I read it. I read it the other day, man. I gotta take a look at it. I'll send you the link to the article. But this team is
struggling believing that. Then how many NFL teams? I mean, we know they're through more than Cleveland.
What do you mean they're practicing more than the Jags?
We know they're practicing a little bit more than the Jags, Cleveland, Tampa Bay. I mean, there's certain teams that we know that they practice more than. But I don't know if they're practicing more than like the Broncos and Green Bay. I don't know.
Could be something, man.
You know what I mean?
I'd like to see. Advantage.
I'd statistically like to see what teams I'd like to see where the practice levels were on each team as far as that's concerned. Because I find that a little bit hard to swallow.
Guys, we're live right now on Twitter, SBTV Nation, and give the Dream a follow as well because he has a pretty exciting timeline at times, man, with all the capital letters and all that madness that you got going on over there, brother.
Always larger than life.
Always.
But listen, the other thing about the Denver Broncos is, dude, can I ask you a question?
Sure, what up?
Why the hell are you motivating Tom Brady?
I don't know, man. Maybe they're trying to get in his head.
Dude, listen. All right, let's talk about that for a minute. All right. How long has Tom Brady been a quarterback now?
Long time, man.
How many times has Tom Brady been to the playoffs, been to the Super Bowl, been just dope?
Like every year?
Yeah, you're not getting in his head. Okay, if Tom Brady was a rookie, if it was, Brian Hoyer, all right, you would get in his head.
Sure.
You're not getting in Tom Brady's head. What you're doing is you're motivating him. And why would you want to motivate this guy? I mean, come on, Denver, man. That's just... Dude, that's stupid.
You think so, huh?
I know so. I mean, if I'm in the locker room, listen, I'm so focused on trying to beat this guy. I'm quiet. I'm cool. I'm collective. I'm studying. I got no time to talk to the media right now.
Yeah.
I just want to focus on one thing, the game plan, making sure I'm ready, making sure my teammates is ready, making sure that we are definitely practiced and ready and up, looking as much film as possible so we can do whatever we got to do to beat Tom Brady. I got no time to be talking on an interview and talking about Tom Brady's a crybaby, dude. Come on, stop it.
All right, well, speaking of the lines, man, this is our daily line update as far as the NFL Conference Championships. And New England went down from 3.5 down to 3 now. So they're leaving it on the 3 number it's been at 3 for a couple days now. It opened at 3.5, and Carolina's staying at 3 as well, Dream.
I think they're gonna both stay. I don't see much movement in either one of those lines. I think that's the perfect number to keep everything right there like they want it, 50-50.
Yeah.
I think those are great numbers. One more thing is, calling Tom Brady, the minute he torches you, okay, he's going to whisper as he walks off the field, who's crying now?
Yeah, exactly.
Dude,
exactly.
You just that's just so stupid,
You
man.
love that.
You set yourself up. That I don't like.
Definitely. Well, you got to look as far as these lines are concerned, man. Just being in the game as long as we have, man. I mean, there could be some substantial movement in these lines if substantial money, I'm saying. Like, if it goes to 2.5 or 3.5, I mean, what a difference that is as far as the key number of 3, Dream.
Yeah, but I got the Dream has. I'm coming to the rescue this.
You're coming to the rescue this week,
Coming to the rescue this weekend.
Don't be bringing no kind of Legion of Boom stuff this way, man. Don't make me come at you and beat up on you again this week.
Because the Legion of Boom did cover the teaser that was given out on Sunday. You do know that.
Every team covered the teaser.
Well, I'm just saying. And why would they cover it? If I told you that a team was up 31-0 at the half and still would cover, would you believe that?
In Seattle's case, you know what? It's not that far off, to be honest with you. I did say this, on Monday morning when we did Monday Morning Quarterback, that I was a little shook in the third quarter of that game. I'll be 100% honest with you, because I saw Killer Cam Newton could do nothing in the second half, and Seattle was just doing whatever the hell they wanted. But, it has to be some kind of psyche in your brain, where you're just kind of like 31-0, you're cruising, laughing, joking, stuff like that. I've never been in a coaching situation, Dream, where I've been up that big or down that big and had a comeback. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I've never even like 14 points with kids. It's almost like when they're down 14 or they're up 14, it just seems like it's still the same gameplay like the entire game. Versus, something like that where just like they just kind of just I think they were thinking about maybe doing some selfies on the sideline or something like that. So I don't know, but hey, we'll see what ends up going down with these particular games. I can't wait, man, because we're going to start our NFL talk tomorrow. We're going to have Charly on. We're going to see
so much to talk about the NFL, man. I got my whole synopsis again. I'm coming through. I got my information dead right. I got blocking schemes. We're going to talk about the defenses they run. We're going to talk about killer. We're going to talk, man, I got so much stuff for this weekend. Listen. We're gonna win this weekend. We're gonna win.
You got a little hate towards Killer Cam coming?
I don't have no hate towards Killer. Listen, I'm all about. Listen, I don't care who you are. If you can make your boy some money, you're my guy.
Well, you've been missing the boat with Killer Cam all year long, player.
Can you please stop with Killer? All right?
Just say
I got some Killer. I had a couple of games where I got them.
Yeah, okay. All right, sounds good.
I took them in a few spots.
All right, man. So moving on to a couple of other things here. The St. Lucia Rams. You wanted to talk about them for a minute?
Dude.
Well, the LA Rams,
I never got to talk about this. I meant to talk about this like 2 weeks ago when they made their announcement. St. Lucia, they're playing everybody, by the way, still. That whole moving, that's about, listen, you're not putting a good product out there. So your stadion's not full, all right? So you're not.
You know what? I agree with you. I agree with you.
Okay, but let me finish though. This.
Yeah.
So you're not making you're not making all the loot you should make. But here's my thing: they're still making. They're not losing money. They're still making money. They're not just making as much money as they want to make. So now, because they're not making as much money as they want to make, they're just gonna play everybody and pick up and go move somewhere else. How about just get your team dead right and be good, and then you'll make your money?
Well, from what I understand, as soon as the shovel hits the ground in Los Angeles, your net worth of your team increases substantially, Dream. So I can understand both sides here. I see what you're saying, but I could also see the business side of this too.
But here's my thing, dude. No, the business side is booty. Listen, because they got money. They're trying to act like they don't. Please don't try to act like you're broke, St. Louis. We don't want to hear that, okay? I'm not going for that. Here's two things about it, all right? NFL, all right. LA has had their chance for football teams.
Yep.
That haven't worked. That picked up and moved out of LA.
Good point.
All right, we've already. It's not like we never did it. LA had teams already. Mm-hmm. They had the Rams and they had the Raiders that both left.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, and because here's the deal: if you're not good, one more thing. If you dip into LA being booty, you're not going to get any more support in LA than you're getting supported in St. Louis. So now, here's the other deal with the NFL. You want to put a team out there? Then I hate to say it, even though I don't really want it. Add another team. Do an expansion.
Yeah.
Don't let a team that's already established root them up, screw up their fan base and move them to LA. That's just not. I have an issue with that, and I meant to talk about this a couple of weeks ago. I think it's messed up, and I don't think it's right. You're killing the people of St. Louis, the people that supported you there, the fans that love you there as an organization. I know you were once in LA, but you've been in St. Louis, so you should have been made to stay there. That's just how I feel.
I get it. I see both sides of the coin, though. I mean, you look at the Lake Show, how bad they are, but they're still turning a magnificent profit over there, Dream, because of the Black Mamba.
No doubt. You're going to turn a profit. I mean, you are going to turn a There's no – listen, that guy said St. Louis is not broke.
St. Lucia is not broke, definitely. I mean, they still got the Cardinals, and they still got a couple – they still got the St. Louis Blues over there. So, hey, all you guys in St. Louis that listen to us, hey, maybe you will get an expansion team that's going to come. They're already in talks about it, Dream, adding 2 to 4 teams. in
Yeah,
the NFL.
and that's why I don't know why you uproot a team that's already existed. You tell the team that's there, hey, you stay put. This is what we're doing. I'd never do. I think that's such a bad look. I think that's such a bad look. And then the ownership, like they're quick to bounce. Well, we see, and I get it. Okay, it's another $100 million over there. Yeah, I do understand that. Greed begets greed. But I'm just saying, though, it's not like these teams are broke. And they're also, they're not broke.
They're not broke.
All right. They don't got to move because they're not broke. And there was enough support for, like, if you went to St. Louis and there was only one fan in the stadium, literally one, then you got a reason to leave. But when there's thousands of people that still were coming into games, there's no reason to leave. And plus, look at the booty product you're putting on the field.
Yeah, right. Very good point. Very good point. Is Jeff Fisher going to be there next year?
Fishbone is still there, dude.
Fishbone is still there.
Don't ask me how Fishbone still stays alive.
Staying alive over there, man.
Staying alive.
Staying alive. Still
like
alive.
John Travolta.
Definitely. Well, definitely a little bit of a controversy next year as far as their quarterback situation as well, because it was just really bad. So we'll see how that all materializes.
Traded get Foles from
yeah. You could get Foles back.
To get rid of Cap. We'll put Cap in L.A. and put Foles in.
Very good point.
Yeah, make it up.
Very good point. Can't make this stuff up, man. So, all right, as far as the college basketball, guys, there's a couple of games on the ticket tonight as far as ranked teams are concerned. And we got this number 9 Iowa team that is going into the 6-13 Rutgers. And Rutgers is a 22.5-point favorite tonight, guys.
They are?
22.5, man. I'm sorry, underdog. My bad. My bad. Whoa! I was about to get everybody. Dude, everybody's about to leave work and go put the play in.
Son, I was just getting ready to call my financial advisor.
Well, we are live, guys. I'm gonna make mistakes sometimes.
All that food out of here. We got a home run tonight.
Oh man, look at this favorite. Wow, what the? I want to curse, but I'm not going to. What the hell was I thinking here, man?
I was about to hang up on the show. You lucky I'm still here, son.
Rutgers is 0-6 in the Big Ten. Iowa is 5-0 in the Big Ten. Iowa minus 22.5 with an under-over of 145.5. Now, I'm taking a look at this particular game here. Obviously, Iowa is far superior in this particular affair. When you look at this all across the board, I mean, every stat points to Iowa. 81 points a game, giving up 67 points differential, defensive and offensive rebounding, field goal, free throw percentage, three-pointers, steals. I mean, they are definitely top-notch. And this Iowa team, now that all these other teams are losing, don't be surprised if they don't crack the top 5, Dream.
For those of you that are watching live, I'm sure you probably saw my face when you said 22.
22-point favorite, Rutgers.
I was like... Oh, what?
Oh, man. Sorry for the error.
He must be talking about, like, Iowa Tech or something.
Iowa Tech.
That's what I was thinking in the back of my mind.
Iowa Technology.
Rutgers still shouldn't be giving Iowa Tech 22 points anyway. Right. Rutgers should be getting, like Iowa High School 22 points, to be honest with you, because Ruck is pretty bad this year.
Yeah, good point, man. Good point. But looking at this, guys, I wouldn't get involved in that many points. You just got to kind of sit back and watch that one. But this Iowa team, once they beat Michigan State twice this year, people are starting to pay them some attention, including myself. So I'm taking a look at that, and I saw the futures go from 80-1 all the way down to 30-1 after the Sparty win, Dream. Just like that. Snap of the fingers. Boom! Okay. Just like that. Number 23, Kentucky, is going into Arkansas. Kentucky is minus 2.5 with an under-over of 152. And I'm looking at this here, and Kentucky, I know this dates back quite a bit. But you know that they've lost the last 3 games they've played in that building, Dream, in Arkansas? Something to take a look at, man. I mean, this Kentucky team on the road, given 2.5 points, I think they win the game and bounce back. I really think they're going to. Yeah, you think so, huh?
I was getting ready to get involved with that with you because you go back over the years, and then obviously Kentucky, who changes their roster every year, is definitely not the team to plug a trend with on that note. And I haven't really liked what I've seen out of Arkansas this year. I haven't seen a whole lot. but I've seen a little bit. The program is obviously, this program has been struggling ever since Nolan Richardson's left, pretty much for the most part. I see Kentucky going in there and finding a way to get this job done. I think Kentucky's size. And Kentucky, they got some athletes still. Don't let Kentucky fool you. They may be playing a little bit of possum.
Don't let them sneak you. Don't let them sneak you, man.
Yeah, they're playing a little bit of possum. They're not as bad as I definitely think 23 is not. They should be a lot higher than that. I mean, I'm sure Killer Cal don't care about them being there, but I still think that they should be in the top 10. So don't let them fool you in this spot.
Would they go in and lay a smackdown on Duke if they saw each other?
I believe that they would.
I think so too. I think Kentucky's better than Duke.
Well, they already beat Duke.
They did.
Yeah, they beat Duke already.
Gotcha.
Like you said, latest SmackDown, I think they beat them by 6, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look it up real quick. I think they beat Duke by 6, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they beat Duke 74-63. So they beat them by 11.
All right, sounds good, man. Purdue is hosting Ohio State. Ohio State University.
I've been talking about this Purdue team.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on them. They're pretty good. They're pretty good. We saw them last year, and they were doing their thing last year. They are pretty good. I like what I've seen out of them on the floor. Ohio State, man, hasn't been that great this year.
No, they definitely fell off from last year. That's for sure.
Haven't been that great this year.
Purdue's given 11 points here and superior in pretty much every single statistical category I'm looking here. And Purdue is 16-3 in the last 19 games and 18-2 in the last 20 at home, guys. So take a look at that. The money line may be kind of heavy there, so you might want to consider looking at a first half.
I mean, they got some big. They got 2 7-footers down there. They got Hammonds. They got Haas. They are really big. And I think they're big mans. You know what I'm saying? They're getting it done as far as on the glass is concerned. The rebounding is good right now. You know, offensively and defensively. I mean, they're doing their thing. So, listen, get a look at this team, guys. You might want to get involved with this game. If you do, just do yourself a favor. I think you should get rid of the points just to be safe. You know me, I always like playing it safe. Even though I kind of think that they will cover that number, but you still always play it safe if you can. I'm sure there's something else that you might like and put that in it, or if not, just leave it open.
I got some way better games anyway in pro sports.
Okay.
To be honest with you, there's a couple of Pac-12 potential championship games here. You got USC versus Oregon, and you got Arizona versus Stanford Dream. So all of these teams I think will be alive in that tournament and moving pretty much forward as far as maybe the top 4 teams in that conference. But I'm looking at this. Oregon's -5 and Arizona is -5.5, guys. So take a look at those games. I am not getting involved in those at all, man, to be honest with you. I'm just going to kind of sit back and watch because I'm trying to pick my spots, Dream.
Pick your spots, player.
Pick my spots, man. So I'm going to move over to the NBA and see what we got going on. I can tell you right now I'm looking at one already, and that is the Cleveland Cavaliers are home versus the LA Clippers. And I cannot see the Cleveland Cavaliers trying to lose to another West team, Dream. After getting beat down by Golden State, after losing to the Spurs, you gotta win this game tonight, Dream. If LeBron goes out and loses to the Clippers, that is, there's going to be all kinds of talk and rhetoric and just kind of, conversations to them. They're 15-2 at home, man. So I like the Cleveland Cavaliers to win tonight, brother.
I want to just reverse 1 second back to college basketball for a second. I'm sorry. This was a late night, and I meant to talk about this game. I started to mention this game yesterday, and I'm talking about UCLA, but I ended up pulling back off of it because I had thought Charly went there. UCLA played Oregon State last night, and they beat them on the road. That was an impressive win, and great job by UCLA. And let's keep a little small eye out on this UCLA team.
Okay. You think my boy loses tonight to the Clippers?
I don't think your boy's going to lose to the Clippers, but I'm not getting involved in it.
You're not, huh?
No. The Clippers have been playing better basketball since Blake has left. Dr. Dan had talked about that and alluded to that as well, and he's been pretty dead on. Of course, they went against some, far less superior teams than the Cavaliers. I think this is a good spot for Cleveland. However, I just don't want to be involved with it financially because, the Cavaliers figuring them out in certain situations like this one to me has been, I'll tell you what, I do like taking the Clippers in the first half.
Ooh.
If you talk to me about that, I'm interested.
Oh man, I mean, Cleveland's always starts slow.
I know.
But I don't know.
I know.
I mean,
I would be interested in that, but as far as the game, I'm not really interested in. So that's something we might want to take a look at. Maybe we just watch it, engage it again to see if it passes the test one more time. Because I know this might not be a great spot. You might not like it, especially with Cleveland coming off that loss to Golden State and looking like they wanted to avenge themselves yesterday, beating Brooklyn down like they did, and now they might want to beat the Clippers down a little bit too. So I could understand the fallback position in this.
All right. Well, this is part one of a money line parlay I'm looking at tonight.
Okay.
I'm looking at the Cleveland Cavaliers to win the game and beat the Clippers. Might be a little bit of a headache in the first half, guys. Don't be alarmed. Don't be panicking, because in the second half, I think that we'll emerge and get the job done there. And I see Pop and the Spurs are going into Phoenix.
Okay, for an all-out onslaught. What's it? 30 points?
14 and a half.
Wow, that's not even that bad.
Oh, I know. Considering they've been winning by like 30.
We sit there saying 14 and a half isn't that bad.
14 and a half is not that bad at all, man. Phoenix is horrible, man. Phoenix has lost 5 consecutive games, Dream.
Yes,
and when you look at San Antonio,
be careful with this game. This is like a typical game. Pop will have like everybody in sweatsuits.
Everybody in sweatsuits. Very good point.
It'll be like sweatsuit
Thursday,
guys.
Yes, very good point, Dream. So looking at that, hey, San Antonio Spurs, I think and one thing that was brought to my attention yesterday, and not a lot of people are talking about this. Everybody is talking about the Golden State Warriors and the Chicago Bulls 95-96 record. But no one's paying attention to the Spurs only having 6 losses, Dream. They too are in the hunt for that.
Okay.
So something to take a look at. I mean, I look at their schedule coming up, man, and I mean, they have, let's just see coming up, they have to go to Phoenix, they have to go to Lake Show, but then on the 25th, 4 days from today, they're going into the Golden State Warriors, man. I can't wait for that game. That's going to be a great game to have a conversation about, man. So looking at this, and with the exception of that, they have to go. I mean, Golden State and Cleveland, they got to go to, man. So if they could win one of those 2 games, the schedule is like really light, with the exception of OKC a couple of times. I think the Spurs are in the running for that record as well.
I think they are. That record's not a really big deal to me.
Why not?
I don't know.
Best record of all time in hoop.
I know it's not a big deal to me.
Oh my God, that's crazy, man.
Because you know why? Because I don't think the Spurs or Golden State are better than the Bulls. So that's why if you beat the record, it means nothing to me. Because I still think the Bulls would beat you both.
With
this
MJ,
is how I feel.
With MJ out there, yeah. I mean, I was watching a little.
Know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they were showing some film of them the other day, man. I was watching it, and that team was absolutely. I mean, Jordan with his fadeaways was just
ridiculous.
Stupid.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Stupid.
That's why that record, like I said, it doesn't. It just. I mean, I don't mind if they get it, but it just doesn't mean that much to me because I still feel like that they would win.
All right, sounds good, man. And taking a look at the rest of the NBA slate, guys, I'm not really seeing anything that tickles my fancy, to be honest with you, because you got Memphis going into Denver, and we've been talking about how good Denver's been at home. Be careful with that game, guys. Memphis is favored -2. I'm going to shoot over to the ice unless you got any more NBA.
I do not.
All right, looking at the ice, I got a spot here that I'm kind of feeling, and I am feeling the Dallas Stars, who are hosting the Edmonton Oilers, and I think the Dallas Stars finally turn this thing around and get the job done. They've lost 4 consecutive games, Dream.
Yes.
Before this little slide that they've had, remember we talked about it, they didn't lose like back-to-back games all year? Well, in the last, in the last 8 games, they're 1-7, dude.
And see that because once Hat figured out that they hadn't done that and it started playing them.
Shut up. I've been messing with the Stars all year.
The streak was in jeopardy, but I like the Stars tonight as well. That should be it should be a relatively easy game.
Nothing's ever easy.
I said relatively.
Nothing's ever easy.
The Oilers' defense is booty. Power play kills, booty. Shifts, dusty. Scoring, garbage.
Yes.
So it should be a relatively easy game, especially with the speed of the Stars. The passing's on point. Their power play kill is pretty good. And you know, I think I like the Stars in this spot definitely to win.
You got to look at this. Edmonton is 1-8 in the last 9 games on the road, guys. So obviously we got to take a look at our injury report and see what's going on. I know Jordy Ben for Dallas is day-to-day with a lower body injury. And, hey, I'm going to look at it later on, but I think that this is part 2 of your boys' Moneyline Parlay with the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Dallas Stars tonight, man. I think if you put those two teams together, I want to say that's probably a little bit over even money, or right on the money with that. So those are the 2 spots I'm looking at tonight, Dream.
You might want to give a quick little look down to the Los Angeles Kings. They got the Minnesota Wild coming in. The Wild just played yesterday and got beat by the Anaheim Mighty Ducks 3-1. The Wild seem to be on one of those little skids that these hockey teams seem to get on, where they start losing a few games.
5 in a row.
Kings at home. You know the Kings can score.
Yeah.
And you know how. Go ahead.
They can score quickly as well.
Yeah, score quick. The Kings is a nice spot. My 2 favorites tonight would definitely be the Kings and the Stars.
All right. And another team that, you know, we haven't paid much attention to this team. We haven't even talked about them ever since, you know, Bishop was really bad in the beginning.
Tampa Bay.
The Tampa Bay Lightning.
Been sneaking up, winning some games on the low.
Have been, I mean, they've won 6 in a row now, Dream.
Yeah. Some of the bottom feeders.
Yeah, very good point. But they got the Chicago Blackhawks coming into town who have won 12 consecutive games. Great game, though, man, huh?
Great game. Don't get involved with them versus the
Blackhawks. No way, man. No way.
The Blackhawks are quietly letting everybody know why they won last year.
Yes.
Because they're dope.
Yeah, they are, man. They are. They're odds-on favorite right now to win the West.
Yeah.
Right now, it's looking like if you know, out in Las Vegas, man, it's looking like the Capitals versus the Blackhawks. That's what Vegas is seeing as the odds-on favorites to win those respective conferences, man. Other than this, Dream, I don't see anything else that I'm feeling as far as the ice. I got my play already. I'm done.
Definitely. Listen, I like the Kings and the Stars. There's there's actually 2 other games that I just would like raise an eyebrow to that is kind of tickling me. One, I like the Flyers to beat the Penguins. That Penguin team, I just do not like the way they play hockey. And the Flyers are physical, should be banging them on the boards. I very, very slightly like the Flyers. I've been watching the Flyers for a while now. My man Jim Rome is a douche, turned me on to them and their physicality, and he was spot on with that. And ever since I've been watching them and riding them, they have been, you know, very successful. I like them tonight very, very lightly against this Penguins team. And my last one is this is just an instinctual, their dual win spot. The Predators are going to play the Winnipeg Jets, and they're dual win. So I don't know what you take from that. Like, that's not a reason really to get involved with any money. I just think that the Predators are much better than their record, much better than they played as of late. And at some point, they're going to snap out of this funk and this losing streak that they're on and grab a win. And I think it could be tonight against the Jets. But like I said, that's just a thought, guys. If you're looking at it and you think the same way and you did the homework and Rennie's in goal and everybody's where they're supposed to be, you want to take a shot at it, go for it. But don't be taking a shot at it. Oh, don't be hitting me up with, yo, you said the Predators, dog. What was that all about?
Nashville's 1-8 straight up in the last 9 on the road.
Yeah, I know. I know. That's why I'm saying, make sure, like Hatton says, do your own homework.
right. Yeah, because I mean, Winnipeg is 2-4 straight up in the last 6 games. But
but
Nashville.
I still think Nashville's I just think they're better than the Jets. And you know, that's my opinion. I just like what they've done prior to this little slump that they're in. I think they should be able to beat this Jet team. But hey, don't go crazy there. It's just a thought.
Well, whoever is out there betting on the Nashville Predators, if you're a $100 better, you're down $1,460 on the year. So not so great, man. Not feeling too good with the bankroll on that particular team. So some people might out there, Dream, may be a little salty towards them right now.
Yeah, you're right.
So, all right, man, that's going to do it for me, Dream. I had my play. I picked this out last night, and I was looking at it with Cleveland and the Dallas Stars to get the job done, and I think it's pretty good. So that's what I'm going to stick with.
All right, get involved with the play, player.
I'm good. I'm good.
Hey, we'll be back tomorrow. We got Charly coming back on the team. We'll be back in the house, getting it in with you guys tomorrow, and we will definitely get really deep, more in depth with this NFL thing.
Yes.
We're going to hear her standpoint and hear what she's got to say, and then we'll start adding a little bit of mine. But you ain't really getting my full, all-out onslaught of what I'm doing till Sunday. I'm just gonna make you hold on. We're gonna get down with it Sunday because I'm still working on some stuff. I still haven't gotten. I'm there with one game and I'm struggling with one. So I got one ready and there's one that I'm still working on.
Okay.
So we're gonna get through it. Guys, listen, I'd like to thank everybody who's retweeted the show and listened this morning to our madness. We got Terrence Mack out there, Frank Vinculato, MC Money's in the house, Sin City Maverick, Vegas Girl 92661, KMVU, Total Sports Edges in the house as well. We have Vegas Jack, JDH24. We also have Joseph Del Rosario, C. Rodriguez Jr., OJFB. What's going on, Playboy? Irvin's out there. Irv, good to see you out there this morning. Matter of fact, hit me up, Irv. Tell me what you think about this weekend because, you know, me and you always go back and forth a little bit. Because I know Irv don't like Peyton Manning. Said he'd rather take his chance with a banged-up Ben than old Peyton Manning.
Wow. And
the chance was smashed.
Yes.
But Pittsburgh's defense did impress me, Irv. I got to say that. Sermon is out there. Christos, Kruk, A.B. Lint, J.C. Scott Weaver's in the house. Nick Orestes, Cash Action Bets, Jason Rowley, BT. We got Mario Martinez, Danish Better, Average Joe Punter, Papa Smurf, just to name a few. Guys, I am the dream. Always remember who you with. Make the most of each and every day because you cannot get this time back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Guys, I consider Thursdays as the kickoff to the weekend. Looking very much forward to watching my boy in action tonight. Looking very much forward to the Dallas Stars in action tonight. And looking forward to kicking it with you guys on all the social media outlets. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Google+. Anywhere you look, just put SBTV Nation in and bang, we'll pop right up. We love you to death. Go out there, go easy, make all your dreams a damn reality, and get that money. Let's go.